Tuesday, August 16th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with a look at the latest local headlines, including a pregnant woman involved in a serious crash on Route 7 yesterday. Officials warning dog owners to beware of unlicensed kennels following a dog's death in Reading, a man taking a nap in a Milford funeral home, and much more. Later in the show, we'll also be previewing the upcoming Sunset Run for the Warriors in Shelton. And Frank Granito will join us with your Nutmeg Sports Update and a look at the forecast. And Donald Lang will take a look back on this day in history. But first, on to today's news. A fatal one-car accident in Oxford early Monday morning has claimed the life of a 23-year-old Ridgefield resident, according to state police. State police said that Noah Benjamin Lubitz of Craigmore Road North in Ridgefield was killed when his 2006 Toyota Highlander went off the right side of Route 67 into a wooded area before hitting a culvert. A report said that Lubitz's vehicle was traveling south near a local mobile gas station that borders the Seymour town line. According to state police, it took rescuers several minutes to reach the vehicle that had went through at least 100 feet of woods before coming to a rest. He was declared dead at Waterbury Hospital early yesterday morning. The state police's accident reconstruction team is investigating that crash. And in other news, a pregnant woman was sent to Danbury Hospital with injuries she sustained in a head-on collision on Route 7, just north of Simpog Turnpike around 1:40 in the afternoon on Monday. Ridgefield Fire Chief Kevin Tappy confirmed that one of the two drivers involved in that crash was 35 weeks pregnant. Tappy said there was a report that she was in labor, but that cannot be confirmed. The fire chief said that the woman was driving a red Subaru that sustained extensive damage to its front end. The other vehicle involved in the two-car accident was a large panel van-type vehicle truck. The drivers of both vehicles were treated and taken to Danbury Hospital by the Ridgefield Fire Department. He said the accident produced some significant traffic problems on Route 7, with police closing off the intersection of Route 7 and 102, as well as the intersection of Route 7 and Canes Hill Road. You can get updates on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And Connecticut state troopers and detectives worked throughout the day yesterday to try and discover how human remains ended up in a residential area in the town of East Lyme. On Monday at about 6:50 in the morning, the partial remains of a human skull were located adjacent to Van Winkle Way in East Lyme. East Lyme police officers and troopers from Troop E in Montville responded to the scene. The office of the chief medical examiner was also notified and sent an investigator. During a search of the wooded area adjacent to Sleepy Hollow Road, detectives discovered more skeletal remains. The remains were taken to the office of the chief medical examiner in Farmington to determine the cause of death and possible identification through dental records. The investigation is ongoing, and police are asking anyone with information to contact them at 860-848-6500. And Milford police arrested a Hamden man on Sunday after police say he broke into the Cody White funeral home to take a nap. According to police, they found 20-year-old Peter Radziwilis of Hamden sleeping in a closet inside of the funeral home. Radziwilis told officers that the last thing he remembered was having drinks at a local restaurant the night before. Radziwilis is charged with third-degree burglary and first-degree criminal mischief. He was released on a promise to appear in court on September 6th. And in other news, the recent death of a dog at an unlicensed home-based boarding facility that led to animal cruelty charges against a Reading woman demonstrates the need, officials say, for all pet owners to be vigilant about ensuring their animals are cared for in a licensed facility. Catherine Sturg, owner of Katie's Critter Care, was charged last week in the June 16th incident in which one of her dogs attacked and killed a dog that was being boarded at her business while its owners were on vacation. Sturg admitted that one of her big dogs was responsible for the death of the 15-pound Havanese, according to a warrant for her arrest. She was charged on a number of charges, including cruelty to animals and operating a commercial kennel without a license. The 49-year-old Sturg had advertised her Reading Road business on Facebook and claimed that it was licensed and insured. State records show, however, that the business was not licensed as a commercial kennel as required by law, which would have triggered inspections by the Department of Agriculture. Potential customers for kennels can check if a pet boarding, daycare, or grooming facility is licensed by going to elicense.ct.gov. The owner of the dog that was killed told officers that her family had boarded there with their dogs before without any previous incidents. And a woman in Orange, angry at a speeding motorist, threw a bag of her dog's poop through the vehicle's open window, police said Monday. 59-year-old Karen Karamis of Timberlane Drive was charged with throwing objects at a motor vehicle on August 6th incident that occurred on Peck Lane, according to a post on the Orange Police Department's Facebook page. Police said officers learned that Miss Karamis was walking her dog alongside Peck Lane when she observed a vehicle being driven above the posted speed limit. She gestured for the driver to slow down, and as he passed her, she threw a bag of dog feces at the truck, which went through an open window and exploded inside the interior. Karamis was issued an infraction, and the driver was warned about speeding in the area. And in Ridgefield, a family of 4, a man, a woman, and 2 preschool-aged children that have been asking for money outside of the Cops Hill Plaza over the last week has drawn the concern of the Ridgefield community over the children's welfare during the summer's worst heat wave. State Representative John Fry said that he went to speak to the family on Sunday after hearing reports on social media that they were back in the same spot, under a shaded tree at the intersection of 2 stops closest to Radio Shack's storefront and across from Stop and Shop. Fry told the Ridgefield Press Monday morning that the family refused his aid and handed him back his business card when he offered it. Ridgefield police were asked Friday and again this past Monday to confirm these sightings and issue a statement about what community members can do in such a situation where a beggar might be a scammer and might be using children to do so. But you can get updates on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. I'm going to throw it over to Frank Granito now for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. It will be mostly cloudy throughout the day with a chance for scattered showers, but expect some strong thunderstorms rolling in early this afternoon, and they could be around until about midnight tonight. There's a chance of flash flooding throughout the county, and we could see wind gusts of up to 25 miles per hour. They will be severe thunderstorms warnings throughout the afternoon. Partly cloudy overnight and very windy again heading into Wednesday morning, and you could still see a couple more scattered thunderstorms until about midnight tonight and maybe earlier on into the morning. Wednesday we'll see some on and off sun during the day with a steady breeze around 15 miles per hour. Humidity up around 60% and temperatures will be in the mid to high 80s. Mostly clear tomorrow night with a low in the mid 60s, but humidity really starting to climb up again as we head towards the weekend. Thursday, mostly sunny during the day with occasional cloud cover early on in the afternoon. An expected high of 85, but with the humidity, that temperature is going to feel a lot closer to 100 degrees again. Clear skies overnight, but very, very humid. Temperatures in the low 70s. And that'll be before we head off to another hot and humid weekend, Kate.
All right, Frank, thanks so much. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, it's time for Donald Eng to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has a Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news coming up after this. Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. And you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We're back on this August 16th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Lang to take a look back on this date in history. Don.
Well, Kate, the country was shocked. The king is dead. First, though, we go back to 1777. During the Saratoga campaign, about 2,000 American militia led by General John Stark, that's him there with the sword, decisively defeat 1,000 Hessians at the Battle of Bennington, which took place in Walloomsic, New York. Don't mention that to anyone from Vermont. The Hessians had been ordered to raid Bennington for horses and other supplies. The defeat deprived British General John Burgoyne of his best troops, cavalry, scouts, and supplies. Burgoyne would surrender the bulk of his 8,500-man army in October. To 1927, the Dole Air Race begins in Oakland, headed to Honolulu, Hawaii, competing for a $25,000 prize put up by the Pineapple Tycoon. Of the 11 planes entered, 3 crashed before the race began, 3 more crashed on takeoff, 3 took off successfully but were never again seen, 1 turned back, and 2 managed to reach Oahu. 1954. The first issue of Sports Illustrated is published. That's Eddie Matthews there on the cover. Check out the motion blurred bat in the photo. That's pretty cool. If you've got a copy lying around, it's worth about $300. Finally, now we go to 1977 for this.
People have gathered outside in front of the Presley home, and cars are backed up for miles in both directions down Elvis Presley Boulevard. It has been estimated that at least 2,000 people have stopped here this afternoon, all hoping for some word from the family that Elvis Presley really is dead. However, there's been no word from the Graceland mansion. Only members of the immediate family are allowed inside. But one uncle did tell me earlier today that Elvis Presley was in his bedroom, got up to go to the bathroom, and that was when he fell on the floor.
The king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, dies at his Memphis home. He was 42 years old. Doctors said he died of a heart attack, likely brought on by his addiction to prescription barbiturates and fried banana sandwiches. President Jimmy Carter issued a statement crediting Presley with having permanently changed the face of American culture. Now, some of the interesting facts surrounding Presley's death: his cousin, Billy, accepted $18,000 to secretly photograph the corpse in the coffin. The picture appeared on the cover of the National Enquirer's best ever selling issue. Presley's funeral was held at Graceland. Outside the gates, a car plowed into a group of fans. About 80,000 people lined the processional route to Forest Hill Cemetery. Attempts to steal Presley's body led to him being disinterred along with his mother and then reburied in Graceland's meditation garden. That is your look back in history for today, August 16th, and I'm Donald Lang.
Wow. All right. Thanks so much, Don. Well, getting back to a little more news today. Back in July, a Monroe resident reported to police there that while shopping at the Big Y supermarket, her purse had been taken from her carriage. That purse was turned into customer service, missing its cash and credit cards. And while reporting the missing credit card to the bank, the victim was notified that that card had already been used at several businesses on Monroe Turnpike, including the Big Y, for over $200. Through the police investigation, the suspect was identified as Caitlin O'Reilly of Shelton. An arrest warrant was obtained for Riley, and she turned herself in on August 12th after an alleged 4 counts of illegal credit card use. She's scheduled to appear in court on August 19th. But let's throw it back to Frank now for a Nutmeg Sports Update.
Thank you, Kate. The late Tom Fujitani, who left an incredible mark on the town through 3 decades as the head coach of Wilton High School football, has been named the Sports Person of the Year for the town of Wilton by the Fairfield County Sports Commission. Announced last week, Fujitani, who passed away on April 2nd, will be recognized along with honorees from 15 other communities at the 12th Annual Sports Night Awards Dinner, Monday, October 17th at the Hyatt in Greenwich. Fujitani served as head coach of Wilton High's football team for 32 years from 1969 to 2000 and had an overall record of 163 and 147. He guided the Warriors to 2 state championships and their only FCX title back in 1988. During Fujitani's tenure, Wilton made the state final 4 times and the conference finals 6 times. We'll have the complete list of our sports persons of the year on Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. And over in Norwalk, the rising senior Jake Maxson announced yesterday that he will be playing his college football for Temple University. Maxson attended an open practice in Philadelphia this past weekend with several of his teammates, and upon returning home, he knew that Temple was where he wanted to be. Temple was one of the first schools who began recruiting the 6'2", 280-pound lineman, and the first school to offer him a scholarship. Norwalk head coach Sean Ireland said that they were always the school that showed the most interest in him. The early interest and commitment meant a lot to Maxson, who selected the Owls over Wagner College and Central Connecticut State. We offer our congratulations to Jake, and we look forward to following him during the football season along with the rest of the Bears. Kate, that'll do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Let's go back over to you.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, recapping a few of the top stories that we're following today. A fatal one-car accident in Oxford early Monday morning has claimed the life of a 23-year-old Ridgefield resident, according to state police. State police say that Noah Benjamin Lubitz of Craigmore Road North was killed when his 2006 Toyota Highlander went off the right side of Route 67 into a wooded area before it hit a culvert. A report said that Lubitz's vehicle was traveling south near a local mobile gas station that borders the Seymour town line. According to state police, it took rescuers several minutes to reach the vehicle that went through at least 100 feet of woods before coming to a rest. He was declared dead at Waterbury Hospital early yesterday morning. The state police accident reconstruction team is investigating that crash. And in other news today, a pregnant woman was sent to Danbury Hospital with injuries she sustained in a head-on collision on Route 7, just north of Simpog Turnpike, around 1:40 in the afternoon yesterday. Ridgefield Fire Chief Kevin Tappy confirmed that one of the 2 drivers involved in the crash was 35 weeks pregnant. There was a report that she was in labor at the time, but Tappy said that cannot be confirmed. The fire chief said the woman was driving a red Subaru that sustained extensive damage to its front end. The other vehicle involved in that crash was a large panel van type delivery truck. The drivers of both vehicles were treated and taken to Danbury Hospital by the Ridgefield Fire Department. You can look for updates on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And Milford police arrested a Hamden man on Sunday, August 14th, after police say he broke into the Cody White funeral home to take a nap. According to police, they found 20-year-old Peter Radzewillis of Hamden sleeping in a closet inside of the funeral home. Radzewillis told officers that the last thing he remembered was having drinks at a local restaurant the night before. He was charged with third-degree burglary and first-degree criminal mischief and is scheduled to appear in court on September 6th. And in other news, road work on Route 25 at Cedar Hill Drive in Trumbull will result in some potential lane closings beginning August 17th, and delays are likely. Work crews will be relocating a water main on Wednesday between 9 in the morning and 7 in the evening. And the following day, they'll begin installing a drain line across Route 25. The work is expected to continue through August 26 and happen between 8:30 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. During construction, there will be one alternating traffic lane open. You can use alternate routes when possible, and updates will be posted on trumbull-ct.gov. And the American Red Cross has a need for new volunteers to join flood relief efforts now in Louisiana after flooding has left 15 rivers in record flood stage. The Red Cross currently is accepting new volunteers interested in the areas of feeding, sheltering, and supply distribution. In addition, they are in need of licensed health services and disaster mental health volunteers. New volunteers need to apply and be accepted and trained before being able to deploy to Louisiana or another national disaster operation. Those interested can sign up online. They must have access to a computer, and those who are interested in deploying also will be attending a 3-hour in-person training once they complete that application process. To find out more, you can visit tinyurl.com/disaster responder or call 860-678-2788. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we'll have a special guest by phone to tell us more about the upcoming Sunset Run for the Warriors in Shelton. We'll hear more about that coming up after this.
Mosquitoes, ticks, gone. Guaranteed. That's what Mosquito Squad guarantees as America's most trusted mosquito and tick control company. Locally owned and operated, over 90,000 homes have been protected by Mosquito Squad using their dual protection method for season-long protection, which includes barrier spray service for eliminating mosquitoes and adult ticks, as well as supplemental programs to increase tick control. They use only USDA organic options, which are safe and non-toxic. Contact them today at www.squadctny.com or 203-893-4309. Mosquito Squad. No bugs, no bites, no kidding.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN Network.
Today's coffee break is brought to you by Poly School of Gymnastics in Stratford, celebrating 45 years in business with fall and winter programs starting in September. Poly's offers classes at all levels, Monday through Saturday for boys and girls. Morning classes for little ones 15 months to 2 years are available, along with preschool and kindergarten classes 4 days a week. Some classes have limited availability. Call 203-375-3244 or like Poly School of Gymnastics on Facebook. We are back on your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and we have a special guest on the phone right now. We tried to connect with yesterday, but we had some technical glitches. But Rebecca Herron, who is the race manager for the Sunset Run for the Warriors. Rebecca, so happy to have you on.
We're so glad that you allowed us to come on today.
Of course. Now, I've been lucky enough to attend one of the Sunset Run for the Warriors in Shelton previously, and it's really just a great event. But first, can you tell us about Hope for the Warriors, which organizes this event?
Yeah, we're a nonprofit that serves wounded service members, their families, and the families of the fallen. We have a full cycle of programs and ways that we help the transition out of the military for the whole family. We realize that it's not just the service member, it's really the whole family that needs help, but it's also just integrating them back into their community. So that's one of the main aspects of this run, is to bring the whole neighborhood together, military and civilians, and give them a chance to have a night together.
And there are a lot of warriors as well that get involved in this race. Isn't that true?
Yes, and we allow adaptive equipment as well, and that's why we also have the 1 mile walk run. It's their first steps back into sport. So it's our way of getting you back out there, getting you active, but also getting you out there with your neighbors, meeting your neighbors, and maybe hopefully introducing you something new to your neighborhood and to your community.
I think what's wonderful, too, is if we're running through some of the pictures of past events, there's a lot of families involved, there's a lot of kids. I mean, tell us what people can expect if they sign up and attend.
Yeah, our opening ceremonies start at 4:30. As soon as our opening ceremonies end, we have a kids' dash, which is around the green. It's a time for any kid to go out there and start and then go right through the finish as well. All kids will receive a medal at the end as well. At 5 o'clock, we're going to start our 10K, 5K, and 1 mile. And this is the start of the event. And then an hour later, we're going to start with the awards and finish up the night. It's a great night to come out. You can register that day between 2 and 4:30. So come out, celebrate your neighbors, celebrate the military in your community, and thank them for what they've done.
And so the organization is celebrating 10 years of serving those who have served. Is that right? And I know you just talked about kind of providing a full cycle of care. How important is it for just people in the community, especially for these veterans, to know that they have the support of all of us around them?
Yeah, we find so many times that when you're out of the military, you just don't have that camaraderie that you had with your unit, with those that you served with, those that you were with for years. And then now we want to help them get back into their community, know that everyone is there for them, your neighbor, someone down the street, but it's also introducing the military life to the community as well. We find that once both are knowledgeable on both ends and both lifestyles, it helps to bring that community together.
And now about the event itself, should people that are maybe non-runners be intimidated at all, or is it really open to everyone?
No, this is open to everyone. We want you to come out if you're a runner, but also come out if maybe this could be your first 5K and you walk it. Maybe you do 1 minute on, 2 minutes off, or whatever your ability is, we want to welcome you in.
And the Huntington Green is also a lovely area in Shelton, too. It's a perfect spot for this and very family friendly. And I know it gets closed off for this event, and it's really great.
Yes, yep. And shade will be there at the end. We'll have water for you at the end as well. It's going to be a great night.
That's great. So how can people help? How can they get involved?
If you go to hopeforthewarriors.org/sunset, you'll be able to register. You can also donate on that page. We have teams out there who are trying to raise funds for their running team, companies, and family groups that are raising funds for Hope for the Warriors as well. We're going to have some food trucks out there that night if you want to just come down and spectate and watch. The runners would love if you would, even if you're along the route, come out and cheer them on too.
That's great. It's, as we said, it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend everyone check it out and get involved if you can. Rebecca, thanks so much for joining us and talking about this event and for all the great work that you guys do at Hope for the Warriors.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we are going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. But of course, the Drive with Denise coming up at 12:30, so don't miss that. That's live in studio. And Frank Granito with your Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. We will see you tomorrow on your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.